Right now, a seasonal grass can cause big problems for your pets.
Yeah, it's called foxtail. It's very common in the western part of the U.S. And for one local Boston Terrier by the name of Maggie, it meant a trip to Dove-Lewis Veterinary Hospital. So Dove-Lewis certified vet tech Jessica Waters joining us live with more on Maggie's case. Good morning. Appreciate the time.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so foxtail, it is something to be aware of. In the case of Maggie here, what happened?
So Maggie was on a walk with her owners, and they actually witnessed her inhale or sniff up a foxtail. And she immediately started showing signs of discomfort like sneezing and nasal discharge. So she came into Dove-Lewis, and we were able to take an exam and take a look at that.
Yeah, was this a difficult operation? It was probably pretty uncomfortable for Maggie.
Yeah, so because it was in her nose, we needed to use like an otoscope, kind of like you would look at your ears. And we gave her some pain medication to help make her a little bit more comfortable because it's a little bit of a challenging thing to remove a foxtail from a nose. So we used some alligator forceps, which are really long, skinny forceps, to be able to grab the foxtail. The challenge lies if it's migrated and then removing it without breaking it apart or pushing it in further.
Yeah, and that's a good point because I think that's really one of the dangers of these grass seeds is just how much damage they can do inside an animal's body. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so the foxtails are spiked seeds of some tall grasses, and they resemble a foxtail. They have barbs on them, and so that's what makes them potentially really dangerous. They easily attach to fur, paws, and other parts of bodies. We commonly see them in between toes. And so the barbed end of the foxtail is what potentially causes the harm because it'll migrate through the body. So once it's in between toes or nose or other areas, it just continues to kind of migrate and it can cause some serious harm, potentially infectious and other things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so how can people keep their pets safe from foxtail? In Maggie's case, inhaling it through the nose, and you've mentioned a couple of times, got to be careful of the toes and the paws as well. Yep. So what's the best way to keep our pets safe when, we're walking on the path and foxtail is out and about?
That's a really good question. My advice is to be vigilant. Keep pets away from areas that have, the foxtails are common. It used to be more outskirts, but we're seeing a lot more foxtails in Portland metro area too. So tall grassy fields, keep an eye out for foxtails or plants that, kind of resemble that. And after outdoor activities, it's really important to check your pet's coats and definitely their paws, ears and noses. And then, if you notice signs of sneezing after they've been scrounging in some grasses to be aware of that and maybe have it checked out.
Yeah, so we're showing folks some pictures here of foxtail right now. So these are those, they look beautiful, it's like that long, flowy grass kind of blowing in the breeze.
You don't really think about it much either.
Yeah, but this time of year, late summer is when they dry out, break off, and can really cause some damage. So if your pet runs into this, if you think they may have gotten one of these, in their skin or in their nose, what should owners do?
Take a closer look, watch out for signs of them being a little bit like irritation. So signs of swelling, excessive licking, sneezing, things like that. Call your local veterinarian. We have urgent care and you can usually make a same-day appointment very commonly, maybe even within 30 minutes. But having them checked out sooner rather than later just because they can migrate. But, being vigilant and keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Well, and in Maggie's case, I'm guessing she was feeling pretty good as soon as that got pulled out of her nose.
She looked happy in that picture.
Yeah, how's she doing now?
Maggie's doing great. Her owners reported that she's doing great at home. We sent home some medications for inflammation, and she's really happy.
No, great to hear it. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for taking the time from Dove-Lewis Urgent Care. That is an important topic and one that maybe goes under the radar. I mean, when I'm walking the family dog, I'm not always thinking about foxtail, so I will from now on. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Of course, and to learn more about the dangers of foxtail and again, that emergency care available at Dove-Lewis, we have that on coin.com.